When I had my experience, I was a diehard atheist, like a true atheist. I didn't believe in anything, no religion, nothing. Thought all that was just foo-foo nonsense. I'm an engineer. So one day I was up on a bucket truck running some electrical lines. We were running behind, so we decided to just stay up there on the bucket. We wouldn't go up and down, just had to be real careful with the trees. My partner, he was more worried about me getting electrocuted than anything. While he was focused on that, he kind of bumped into a tree. Next thing I know, I hit the bucket and broke all the ribs on my right side. So, of course, they sent me straight to the emergency room. My ribs weren't healing right, and I was just sitting there struggling to breathe. The nurse tells me, if you need anything, just push the button. I thought about it, but I grew up in the South Bronx, you know. We were raised to be tough, so I told myself, I can handle this, I always do. But after about 45 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore, so I finally hit the button. The nurse came in, and the next thing I knew, she hit the cold blue button. That was the start of my experience of dying. I felt a bunch of emotions all at once. I was suffocating, and it felt slow, like I couldn't breathe. My first emotion, when the whole team rushed in, was shame. They stripped me down, and I felt this overwhelming sense of shame. After that, I started to wonder, is this real? Am I actually dying here? And then I thought about my family. What's going to happen to them? What will they do? I never expected anything like this, so I was totally unprepared. That created this big lump in my throat. Then I started thinking about God. I said, if you get me through this, I'll change. I'll be a better person. You won't regret it. But nothing happened, and then I felt angry, like I knew he wasn't real. And then this overwhelming fear hit me. I thought, when I die, there's nowhere for me to go. I didn't believe in anything. I'm just going to be nothing, like a light turning off. That terrified me. I wanted to ask for help, just for someone to hold my hand, but I couldn't. My father would have been ashamed of me for not being tough. So I just stiffened up and waited for death to come. I started hearing the floor drip, and it sounded like raindrops hitting a tin roof. Splash, splash, splash. I looked at the wallpaper, and I swear, my eyes were so sharp that I could see the grain in it. And even though I knew I was dying and terrified, there was this sense of wonder in me. Then I saw this shadow standing by the door. It just stood there, and I started thinking, maybe it's okay to let go. Maybe there's no shame in this. I'm not quitting. I can't stop this, but maybe it's okay to die. The minute I thought that, the shadow moved. It moved all around the room, and in my mind, I could see its hand reaching out to me. When it touched my toe, this huge wave of relief, peace, love, and calm flooded over me. I wasn't struggling to breathe anymore. I was in bliss, and I felt this warm breeze like it was blowing over me. And I thought, wow, my hair must be blowing in this breeze. Then I felt myself lifting like I was floating. I ended up in the corner of the room watching the CPR team work on me. I saw the doctor right over me, pumping, and I could see the stress on her face. I looked at myself lying there and thought, that's me. I'm dead. And then it hit me. If that's me, then who am I? That's when I heard this voice right next to me saying, think of your body like a car that's gone through 5 million miles. It's done. It's time to say goodbye to it. And I thought, wow, I just accepted that I'm dead, and here I am standing here. I don't know what form I was in, but I knew I was in some form of existence. And for the first time in my life, I loved and appreciated who I was. I realized how grateful I was for that body, that vessel that let me live the life I had. It's crazy, right? We never stop to appreciate what we have, but in that moment, I did. Then the voice said, it's time to move on. So I started walking. I never saw this presence, but I knew it was there, and it felt feminine. We walked toward this giant black hole in the ground, and I went right into it. I felt like I was being ripped apart as I fell. It felt like I was falling forever. Finally, when I hit the ground, it paused for a second, but then she said, "Keep going." And I fell into another hole. I kept falling, feeling like something was being ripped off of me. When I hit the bottom, the first thing I saw was this incredible color. This color wasn't just any color, it was alive. It was moving and talking to me in a way I couldn't understand, like millions of voices all at once. It opened up, and I saw this huge forest. Now, I grew up in New York City, so seeing mountains and wild herds of animals was mind-blowing. I realized I was flying, and I thought, oh my God, I'm flying. Then I heard the voice again saying, "That's normal here." Then I started thinking about my kids. I asked, "What's going to happen to them?" And the voice said, "Don't worry. You can see them from here." That was the most amazing thing I'd ever heard. All my fears disappeared and I started flying. I was soaring over this beautiful landscape, looking down, feeling peace, calm, love. It was impossible to describe, but it was the deepest sense of love I've ever felt. I flew over mountains, saw snow, and was just awestruck. I looked at the sun like I was looking through a telescope, and I could see the flares coming off of it. I realized that the wind I was feeling was coming from the sun. It was like the air was giving me the lift to fly. Then I looked down and saw a cove with a beach. There was a man standing in the water, knee-deep, and he had 6 kids holding onto his right hand in a line. One more kid was on his left hand. I thought, that's amazing. Let's check this out. So I moved down closer, and as I got closer, the man turned around. And then I saw him. It was my father. Seeing him was incredible. We had such a difficult relationship. He was strict, abusive, and I was the protector of my mom. We fought all the time, and I never told him I loved him, and he never told me. But when I saw him there, it was different. I realized that he loved me, and I loved him. For the first time, we understood each other. After a moment, he looked at me and said, "You have to go back." I didn't want to. I said, "I really like it here." He replied, "No, you have to go back. It's not your time." And I felt this tug from behind, like someone pulling me back into my body. I opened my eyes in the A, and the doctor looked shocked. I was back, and I was in that space again with my father. He looked at me and said, "Look, when it's your time, I'll come for you." That was the deal. And I couldn't say no to it. When you die, you feel so connected to everything. It's like you're part of the whole universe. But when you come back to your body, you realize the separation. It's a calming feeling, though, knowing everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is working towards something far beyond what we can understand.